My bridal party tried to ruin my wedding, but I got the last laugh. Honestly, if I hadn't lived this story, I'd think it was the plot of a bad rom-com. I 25F got married this past June, and I thought I chose my bridal party carefully. I had my maid of honor, Kaylee, who's been my best friend since college, my cousin Miranda, and two close friends from work, Jessica and Tanya. I thought these women had my back. Instead, they were plotting against me from day one. First, it was the dresses. I picked a dusty rose color, nothing crazy, very flattering in my opinion. Kaylee dragged her feet so long on ordering hers that the store literally called me in a panic because her size was almost gone. She ended up squeezing into a size down and then complained nonstop that I'd made her look bad on purpose. Jessica openly said she hated the color and threatened to wear something else. I had to pull the "then don't be in my wedding" card before she backed down. Then it was the bachelorette party. I gave them a list of who I wanted invited: my sister, a couple cousins, and a few close coworkers. They left out half the people I'd written down. When I asked why, they said, "Oh, we forgot to send the invites." Instead of the rooftop bar and karaoke night I dreamed of, they took me to some dingy dive bar where they spent most of the night scrolling on their phones. At one point, Kaylee actually disappeared for an hour to meet up with some guy she was seeing. I ended up calling an Uber with my sister and getting ice cream on the way home because I refused to let them ruin the whole night. Finally, the rehearsal dinner. My fiance's family is more on the traditional side, so we kept things pretty formal. Everyone was giving sweet speeches, telling funny stories, wholesome stuff. Then Kaylee took the mic to say, "I'm just surprised Damien hasn't come to his senses yet." Cue nervous laughter. His mom looked horrified at the joke. I had to play it off like she was just being sarcastic, when in reality I was completely embarrassed. But the real betrayal came the morning of the wedding. We were all getting ready in the bridal suite, hair and makeup, the usual wedding prep. Jessica plugged her phone into charge and went to the bathroom. Her group chat notifications started popping up, and the preview text was enough to catch my eye. It was the three of them, literally plotting to accidentally show up late, drag out hair and makeup, and stall the first look photos so I'd have a meltdown caught on camera. Kaylee actually wrote, "Imagine her ugly crying before she even walks down the aisle. Priceless." It took a minute for the realization that they had been purposely trying to sabotage my wedding to set in. I didn't confront them. I just calmly excused myself, told the coordinator everything, and she immediately adjusted the schedule. The photographer and I knocked out my dream photos with my mom, my sister, and my husband's family without them. When the bridal party finally waltzed in 45 minutes late, Starbucks cups in hand, smug as hell, the photographer swept them straight into posed shots, told them they were requested special by the bride. As soon as they were done, I had them escorted out of the venue. I walked down the aisle with no bridesmaids, but honestly, I was too excited to be marrying the love of my life to care. My sister replaced Kaylee as maid of honor, and her speech was so beautiful and heartfelt. My mother-in-law noticed the lack of bridesmaids at the reception. She pulled me aside and said, "Good for you, dear. I didn't like them anyway," while giving me the biggest hug. The whole day was perfect. I quietly cut all three of them off after the wedding. Haven't texted, haven't called. I don't owe them an explanation. They know exactly what they did. Every time I look at my photos, I smile, knowing I no longer have to deal with my so-called friends that tried and failed to sabotage my wedding.